cool. The gas price went down. Alright, got my reusable Starbucks courtesy water cup with a koozie from Wingstop, mixing product ideals to get some coffee at your local 7-Eleven. Switched it over. It's too flimsy, but it does have a cool top. I just gotta find a top for that. That's known as oatification. All right, well, I got a refill on the soda water, and then I put the coffee. It's $1.80 for a refill, because I ended up using my own mug. Like, what in the world, dude? Yeah, it's $1.80 for a refill. I gotta put this back up right here. I put it in this one right here, but $1.80 for a refill. Unbelievable. You might as well get a small. Just dump that in your own container. Yeah, it's still the best coffee out there, though. 7-Eleven coffee. It's just those containers that they give you. They don't have a cozy, keep it from burning the tip of your fingers. So, first, we go to, that's where we are right now. So go like that. We're gonna look for purple. Those are the ones that we haven't hit yet. Non-interested are reds. The G's are GoBacks. They're actually green. And you can see not homes right there. We can also go by not homes. That means they're not moved in yet. Or just not moved in yet, it's a better way to say it. But we have this one right here that's in purple. Those we haven't hit yet. So whenever we hit it, information right there, boom. We can put that into our GPS. Actually, you know what? Just to be safe, we can do that right now. I talk in it, but you have to pay extra to talk in it, so. I don't know, Kia makes you pay to talk in the system, but it should come up. There it is, pretty close. Usually everything's gonna be like 0.1 or 1.4. In this case, we'll find out. Probably like a 1.2. Yeah, it's already saying 0.3. But not always though, sometimes it can be further. If it's an appointment, it can be a few miles. 0.3 for the first door knock. Day, go to radio. It's gonna be 1:58, Tuesday, February 24th. We will arrive at 2 o'clock on the dot. Ba 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 ba. Next go back, actually next door knock, 1.3 miles. Truck, come pick it up for these new homeowners. Look at the light. Not home yet. All right, so in Rib, which is my novel, Revolutionary Independent Branch, it says Rib, parentheses, or Dog Night Out, close parentheses, Shepherds of Alaska. Well, it's dash Shepherds of Alaska, but Shep basically pulls something similar to that, but it's shorter and it's half that size. And it's teardrop shaped, but it's not even that big. It's like half the size, and he sleeps in it. It's about the size, the length of probably a twin size bed. So it's about half of that, but that's kind of, you know, it's got two wheels and you can pull it with the Interceptor, the Ford. Kind of looks like an Explorer, but he pulls it with. And he's at the base of a great mountain along a string of pines, Fairbanks, not too far from probably where McCandless hung out a little bit before the school bus of wonder killed him. For the school bus of freedom, the Eddie Vedder van killed him. Christopher McCandless stayed in the Fairbanks bus 142. He probably did listen to Pearl Jam. It was 1992 when he died, so Pearl Jam was around. They were actually rising at that time.
That's cool. He's basically your son.
Yeah, he is, and you know, he's
We got the funk. We got the funk, yeah, baby, yeah. We got the funk. We got the funk, yeah, baby, yeah. We got the funk.
Mainstream brands. The new V6 powered Nissan Pathfinder. For JD Power 2025 US.
Yeah, I gotta put him down as not interested. This nutcase right there. All right, got to move in, no name. Going for the next knock. Here we go.
Starting route to 5701 Valhalla Drive.
No. Okay. Next door knock, 1.6, 425. Everything to the
skateboarders, 50-50, the 50-50 grind, 50-50 rail slide, 50-50 disaster, 50-50 to revert. And you're also dealing with like 180 no comply, 180 no comply to a 360 shove it. You could even do a 180 no comply to a 720 shove it.
If you're from the 90s. And then
Maple impossible in there. And ollie over a trash can. Yeah, 360 shove it. That was my move with a 180 no comply.
back to what we call Ray Barbie style. The Koreans are always like, with my filmmaking, oh, very nice. Oh, very nice shot. Oh, that's very nice. Like it. Very nice. Oh, very nice. That's probably empty. Yeah, let me check Redfin. No blinds, but the patio light's not on, so that one was probably something I should have gone by earlier. 3525 Ruth Road. Hey, listen, the acting training, it doesn't go away. Even Hoffman, as in Dustin, Dustin Hoffman, he'll go to acting classes, like he goes to workshops even today. It doesn't go away. You're always there. Look at that truck right there. Right there. That green one. So then Daniel will probably drive. on his off time. All right, next door knock, 1.5 miles, 5:03 for the next door knock. Well, it's not that they're mean, they just get a little annoyed because they're super busy and it kind of gets like, so they get kind of annoyed a little bit, just like Pops. It's called a secret Californian. It's like this. It's a real quick move. You can't do it on a broken hand. Look at the shadow. You can see the shadow right down there. See the shadow? Or you can just go like, basically just don't call it sound break, because it's glass break. It can listen to the glass cracking, and then the alarm goes off. It's called a glass break. But if it's sound break, that means any sound. Like, what? A sound break? What's a sound break? Oh, glass break. It means if it hears like a little bit of glass break in the window or the door, or someone throws a rock through the door, they'll call the police, and there'll be like a 2-minute response time or 3-minute. They're trying to get it down to at least below 5 minutes. Next house, 0.4 miles. All right, next door knock, 3.3, 534.
Tell me about your weekend, Leo.
Well, my sister wanted to go camping, so my parents took us in our new Nissan Pathfinder through a mountain trail.
Thank you, Leo.
No, it's not over.
My grandma, Margaret Mitchell, I don't know if she was the writer or not. If she was, then she faked her death and moved to Haltom. She would eat at this burger box. It's still here. Down the street was Putt Putt. Now it's something else. It's like a skydiving place where you can do indoor skydiving. But anyway, she would eat at this burger box, and she'd get those chili burgers. They were like barbecue burgers with chili on it. It's like a barbecue beef burger. I remember her eating it. And she had a big old yard in Halton. I used to do the lawn. I do the lawnmower. Next door knock, 400 feet. One would be for the drone, one for the vehicle, and one for the pursuer or the pursued. So it'd be 3 different ones. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. R.I.B. So a lot of these are actually already covered because it's kind of like the new homeowners program just puts them in a new system in a way, but they do have to make sure that it's activated. So you don't really ever completely know, but they usually are. So they're kind of like, you can see right here, there, probably most of them are. Okay. So I gotta deal with these knots there. And long train running, the Doobie Brothers. Man, I'm the last one that would win on classic rock. I do understand the Doobie Brothers. I do understand the whole Will Ferrell thing. But I would lose in Jeopardy on classic rock probably. I might do okay on the basic one, but on the really hard ones, like Cheetos. I do kind of want to see that Bob Odenkirk film called Nobody. This is a tuna. So basically it looks like that. It was made by a deli person that's probably been doing it for about 25 years. You do want catering though. Yeah. So we might try to do Your Love with paid training through Backpage. So a lot of times I do a stipend. And, you know, like I want the ages to be between 40 and 51, but I'd probably put the ages between 20 and 51. Sometimes you got to change the age on it depending on the stipend thing. Because 50-year-old actors, they're going to want like a few grand. If they're like SAG already, then forget about it. But in Texas, you're dealing with what's called non-union. And there's like the whole Taft-Hartley thing is more for California and Texas. They're not like dying to be SAG all the time because I can slow them down. They got to pay the fees for SAG. You got to pay SAG fees. But it would probably be like what I was doing in Irving when I was working. I was starting Drive of Texas, doing mostly SoundCloud stuff. It's like a that's when I do my summer plays. I was writing plays and then doing readings in my office. I had about 20 to 30 actors that went through there. Some of them were paid. A lot of the leads were. Not an astronomical amount, but a little bit, which counts. The 3 plays were Hidden Drive, which is based on a play called Homesickness for a Broken World. The second play was called Rushin Better Fly, which is misspelled on purpose, RUSHIN better, BETTER, and Fly. It's on SoundCloud, the reading. But it's stored in Berlin because SoundCloud's a European country. I mean, SoundCloud is a European company stored in a European country. That one was pretty good. I communicated with a Russian on that one to get information about what's known as the visa scam, visa passport scam. It was written in 2008, New York Times article about divorcees and men that were getting scammed by Russian women that were kind of like working in a, almost like a call center kind of thing or something similar. But they only used email. So they get a hold of you and so I'm trying to get to America, but I need a passport, I need a visa, and I need an airline ticket, but I'm going to get there. And you're so desperate and lost in some kind of spell of trying to find someone that you start communicating with emails, and they start sending photos and long messages about their grandma dying. That's what that play's about. Bradley Cooper's mentioned, and so is James Lipton, Dean James Lipton from the Actors Studio Drama School. He's mentioned from one of the actors because it was from the point of view of an actor. I had gone to school in New York as a new school. That was the second one. That was done with the reading. Some people were paid. The one where they were not paid on purpose was In Store, which is original title from Rhiannon Washington's husband, who was going to write like a screenplay or something called In Store, which is about a bank. The bank it was a bank that was Fort Worth. Well, it wasn't just Fort Worth, it was actually Dallas too. They're in Fort Worth and Dallas, but at that time they were in Irving. They're still in Irving, but it was known as First National Bank Texas, not of Texas. It's First National Bank Texas. It makes a big point on that, meaning it makes a difference. They did, at least they made a point on it, but they're still around. They've been around since 1901. It's based on that kind of bank. Woodforest does it. They're in grocery stores and they're in like Walmarts. But it was based on a guy that was a banker who's kind of like probably a PB2, personal banker 2, maybe going up to a PB3, but he had been there a long time. And he questions the reason why Apostle Paul was held against his will and eventually killed. Why he was held for so long is one of the things that it does. Like, why was Apostle Paul held for so long? Why they just immediately kill him or crucify him? Which they didn't crucify him, but he ended with a spilt offering. Basically, they cut his head off. And why they waited so long to do it, like they didn't wait long with Christ. They made the decision pretty quick. Why did they wait so long? And he talks about money and the flow of money. Why they kept him so that he could write the epistles, which are letters to the churches. That's probably the real reason, and because God needed him to be alive to write those letters. But he had to deal with the fact that he was a banker. There's a guy that's working with him. All the names are changed, and none of the actors were paid on that one on purpose. They got mad, but what happened was when I got on the back page, I forgot to change that title from stipend to no pay. And I didn't pay them a single penny on that one. It was important. It's called In Store. It's pretty good. 3 acts. I think all of them were 3 acts. They're called the Summer Plays of 2018. It could be an Ash Cole or Cole Spivey, either or. But it's kind of what it looks like. People are like obsessed with food and this tuna wraps. I like to use cream cheese, but the Miracle Whip's mine. And then there's some of the snackage. But anyway, so I was able to do the readings, and I did get some nasty emails from one of the really funny actors that had soul. He was mad, and I got many emails, but I promise you, I still got your information, and you set aside. Everyone else should have learned. that I purposely will probably try to give you something. The idea was that particular play, no one was going to get paid for. Not financially. They would get rewarded differently. He was the one that told me that you can pretty much do anything in this world that you want to, if you set your mind to it. And I appreciate that. He was very funny, because we had someone that came to our bank, and this was a play that for real life, that when I was a personal banker, we did have somebody come by the bank that was a bandit. She was called a mole bandit. She had a mole somewhere on her face, and she had worked for the bank before, and she was caught in Arlington off of Cooper Street. And they caught her because her family turned her in, but she hit a few branches, like sometimes 2 a day. And I got her, but she's mentioned. I think in the play she's called the Mole Bandit, but they do get hit. In the play, there is a robbery at the end. The only thing is that there's a long payout, because the crazy character in it pays out the robber by doing what they do, which is 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83. And he's just standing there waiting until finally the cops come in. And the cops are not supposed to shoot anybody on a robbery. But they don't. But they monitor it, I guess without the guy knowing, but he had a phone on him. He reached for his phone and boom, they get him. So one of the lines in it is, "You shot me over my phone?" And one of the guys was a stand-up comedian that did the narration, which the narration was done very differently than how it was written, but it was still funny. He was a stand-up comedian. He was like a Southern hick stand-up comedian. He's like messing up on every word. And I'm sitting there sweating, because we were in Irving in an office, and I had an LG, basically an LG air conditioner plugged in. It was a mobile air conditioner that you can move around, installed in the window, and the temperature inside the living room was probably like above 80, maybe even 90 degrees. But in that office, it was probably like 70 degrees, unless the air conditioner stopped, ran out of, needed time to cool down. So we couldn't use the air conditioner during the recording, because I was using a Zoom mic. It's a Japanese mic. It's too noisy. So we would get it really cool, like 60 degrees, and then we'd turn it off. That puppy would heat up, that room would heat up like really quick. It was in the summer. And we'd all be like sweating, like literally sweating around that mic. It's recorded pretty well. You can hear it. I can play it off my Bluetooth and captured some of it on this channel if you can find it. It's a pretty good recording. It's pretty funny. And then it's kind of a comedy, and on the stage it's set up where you can see each cubicle. Well, it's not a cubicle. It's very important, but on the stage it's set up where you can see each teller booth. They call it a booth, where you walk up and you get paid and you give them the card information, just like you do it in any banks, but it's in a store. And there's like mural in the back of Texas and oil derrick and all that stuff was kind of how it was. And it went pretty well. It's like a 3 act. But, the play is the thing. It does keep people interested. But the play is a thing because it catches the conscience of the king. And denominations are mentioned in it, all different types. And that's what they call a double entendre. All right, next door knock 1.7, 615. Remember, if you're part of a project like that, that's art, right? And you're doing a reading, like Seinfeld stuff way before, just like Apple, you can get paid later on. They all know that. Just like people that were involved with Daniel Johnston or Richard Linklater or the Coen brothers with Blood Simple, right? Because the Coen brothers knocked on doors to get the money for Blood Simple. They actually went into the home to get money for that.
And get them delivered to your door in as fast as 30 minutes. But you'll have to figure out what to do.
I don't really want to, I know, as a fan of the show, rip off Will Ferrell, A cold dark was in New York walking around when Paul Rudd was doing The Shape of Things, and to Billy Corgan's music, Neil LaBute on Broadway, and I was watching Philip Seymour Hoffman directing Rebecca Gilman, who's out in Texas, The Glory of Living. I was walking around making a movie, you know, but I only had a disposable camera by Kodak, which was disposable. You took a photo, and then you turned the whole camera into the 1 hour photo lab. But the movie was in my head. I just had to put it in words and in a computer. So it's not the same. Can you see them way back there? They're walking. Basically, they have a car lot in their front driveway. That's not a car lot. What is? Okay, we got the answer. Yeah, I mean, running a car lot in your front driveway, I mean, you'd probably need Vivint to help you out. There's a car lot here. Well, I like that one. That one's good. What's the price on this one right here? Kind of like that. Does that have smart car technology? What's a smart car technology? It's like the smart home security, only it's with your car. So you have like an alarm on your car with cameras all around it. You got these things. It's like, that's like a light thing. Look at that lamp right there. There's some lamp screen for you. Okay. And we got this thing right here. It's a mover package, is what it looks like. Can't really see it. There it is. Go like that. And then you go like that. It changes. Do it one time. Now you go like this. You go way, way, way. Yeah. Where was I? You're looking for purples, probably. I see that one right there. I know it's a GoBack, but I can get the address probably. What time? Yeah, it's a little early. Probably maybe, let's see. It's a no name, and ooh, stay away from that one. EULA stands for you lose. Then we got, yeah, that looks real familiar. That's going to be correct. There should be notes right here. Then we go like that, and then we get the amount. 4 miles, next door knock. The guy couldn't be a filmmaker if he tried, even if they paid him, and he shows his demo, and it's like squirrels running in a garden for like an hour. And it cuts right to a CAT scan, you know, and then back to the squirrel. Like, okay, I see the symbolism. CAT scan, squirrel. Got it. In a garden. You know, you get it? Is this thing on? Yeah. So he couldn't be a filmmaker because he had too much squirrel in the garden for hours. And then it would go to a CAT scan on accident. And then back to the squirrel. It's like, man, get an editor. Like, where's Thelma Shoemaker, you know? She'd say, I'd probably cut the CAT scan at about 4 hours of the squirrel running in the garden. So how long do you think it should be? 1 second or minute, maybe. You know, if you're doing a thing about squirrels, make it like 30 seconds and then see how it does on YouTube. Goodbye. Click. Yeah, I don't think Thelma Shoemaker, who's still around, would probably be that mean to a YouTuber, but she'd probably give them like a business card to a psychologist. Say, avoid Scorsese at all cost. Why? Because he's a freaking mafia, that's why. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. This on? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, they only sang that in Anchorman. They probably couldn't get the copyright on it. Afternoon Delight Starland Vocal Band. Yeah, Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd, and all the rest. They sang it. Who knows who? Everybody was in that. There it is in Anchorman with Will Ferrell. I'll have to rewatch it to see if they actually secured that for the movie. But they did sing it, for sure. Look at this Afternoon Delight. That's the opposite of Afternoon Delight. And I'm sure that's not love right there. That's called No Love. Kevin Morby style. No Love. Oh, Kevin Morby. Don't mind if I do. So pretty much like anything that represents Jesus is forbidden. You know, it's like, oh, that person was nice. Ooh. 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 He was what? He actually came in the office and was nice. Ooh. Did he mention the word CHURCH? Yeah, in the hallway by the water fountain. And wasn't like talking about David Bowie? Yeah, okay. Okay, I was thinking. So, you know, was he using David Bowie in the, you know, to get to church on time kind of thing song? Yeah, he's talking about that. All right. That was what I was thinking, because, man, if he was talking about the real CHURCH, boy, he could have been nice. Ooh, don't even say that word, because that's uncool. Skyrockets in night. Like, what is he talking about? He's talking about tectronics and technical aspects of stand-up comedy. He goes up there like a robot and painted all silver. He's like, I'm the robot man. He does that for like 10 minutes till the crowd clears. I swear, there's so many drag queens. When I was there back in 2001 in the Comedy Store, it's like every other comedian was like a horribly dressed drag queen. I was like, what is going on? It was like every other one was. And then like, I'd say like a fifth of them were substitute teachers. They admit to it. And then occasionally there was a freak. And then finally Andrew Dice Clay, you know. But the Hispanic lady the Hispanic lady was funny. She like made this guy's head go into her crotch, you know, from the angle. Then there was a guy that could go into the shadows and hypnotize you, and he would like fall into the shadows. But Andrew Dice Clay was the only one that made sense. Ooh, I got him! I got the lights turning on. Now that's hard to do, because you got to remember exactly at 6:36 for those lights to turn on. And I got them that time. I got them. You know why? Stand-up comedy. That's why. Okay, so it's politically correct hour, as in multiculturalism full on, which I almost majored in college, but I went theater arts instead. Both ways, Texas Wesleyan and University of North Texas, and the New School University when James Lipton was alive and well, kicking and swimming and hurting his shoulder all the time, because he did hurt his shoulder right before he died. This is known as North Richland Hills High School. I did go there for the 9th grade. That way, which it was that way, but it was part of the junior high. Then it was the high school in sophomore year. It's right there. You can only see that part of it because I have it blocked off. But back in the day, it was the Richland Rebels. They had a Confederate flag and a few skinheads that went there that pretended like they were the Confederate Hammerskins. They were kind of dangerous. But one guy literally got Laura Vino on the ground. I don't know if she had a lawyer, right around in that area, and spit in her hair in front of everybody because she slept with a friend of his. He was mean. His first name started with a K. There they are right there, some of them. Now they changed it to the Royals. They're the Richland Royals. They had to legally go in there and change their Confederate flag to some other kind of flag. And they were the Dixie Chicks. I think it was the High Steppers, something like that. The Rebel Dixie Chicks or something. You can kind of see where it says Richland for a second. Ooh, nope. But that's the high school. That's where the fight went down. And he's really mean. He grabbed this chick by the hair, threw her down, spit in her hair. I don't know if he hit her in the face. I don't think he did, but he was mean. He was really mean. He was a mean guy. But he got nice later on, so people do change. But they were actually skinheads that went to that school. I was a new wave, kind of borderline punk, but I was more new wave. And that's where they shop. It's an employee-owned school. Most people in Richland.
3, 4.
That's Richland, as in Richland High School. They're no longer the Confederate or Rebels, whatever. They're now called the Royals. So they had to change the name. And they were big Leonard Skinner fans too. Richland Royal Band. They used to be the Rebels. I think the High Steppers were known as like the Dixie Chicks or something like that. And they changed it to a lion with a king with a crown. Yeah, he's trying to do the Ryan Gosling thing. He's got a cat in a staircase. But anyway, like a Ryan Gosling look-alike kind of thing. Waiting on a Ring doorbell from Walmart.
You can get them in capacity, but it's basically, you might just get your own video camera. Yeah, just set your own video camera down. The thing is so sketchy. It's like...
Yeah, just set your own video camera down. The thing is so sketchy. It's like, you might as well get a video camera on your watch. Say they do have them, but that would probably work too, you know. Just, you show the footage to the cop, they're like, dang, I'm sorry that happened. Because ADT responds like in 2 to 3 minutes, you know, or they get them to respond in 2 to 3 minutes, and they already have the address on file. And they're like, oh, sorry, sweetie, all I needed was $20 a month. $20 a month? Look at the house is in ashes. The house is in ashes. The house is nothing but ashes. The house is nothing but ashes, sweetie. $20 a month. Why didn't you tell me? Well, they came by. They had us on a list. It was $1,500 of free equipment. I don't know. I was going to do it. $20 a month, and you bought this new Ring camera. It doesn't even work. And they're coming up there with those fuzz boxes at high frequency and sticking the footage. They ran off with our UPS package just the other day. I know. It's $20 a month. I know. I just, you know. It's not actually $20 a month. I looked at the contract. It was $53 a month for the basic package. But when they lower the homeowner's insurance, by 20%, it comes to like $20 a month. Basically is what they're paying, almost, pretty much. That's what the lady said on Facebook. He didn't have to be an asshole. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had to. But that can cost. Because the fire department and the police department, they're going to be the same kind of A-butt when they're saying, oh, look, your neighbor has an ADT sign. What's going on? And the houses or your house particularly is in ash, but that one's not. That one's been burnt down because your air conditioner was not smart. It didn't turn off when central air was supposed to kick off because you didn't have a smart thermostat, you know? Look at the neighbor's yard. See how clean it is? See the ADT sign? I'm sorry, ADT. Sorry, I had speech impediment problems when I was in school. The ADT problem right there, I mean the ADT thing, I mean you have an ADT problem because you can't freaking sign up for ADT. So when it comes to these type of things where you get a sign-on bonus and stuff, they're basically door-to-door ADT, and they'll hire really anybody with a sign-on bonus as well, as long as you do a regular job, which is 8 that month that are pretty much like installed, which is like pretty tough. They'll hire anyone. They'd hire a dog if they're allowed to put like a chain around its neck with an ADT sign. They probably would. Little dog. All right, pretty much California. So it's pretty much California. California is a little bit different because, like, for example, I'll tell you, they usually, in most cases, a homeowner won't keep their lights off like that. Not at night around 7:13, but for some unknown reason, they were turned off. But there's a marking on his truck that has 3 little lines on it, like a Monster drink. I had a QT hot dog, a jalapeno QT hot dog. Hey, everybody, this AT program got rush every hat trick. It wasn't like I was doing that. And I got this ADT program, got an alarm system, 105 decibels. Listen to how it sounds. Wee, 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 wee. I want more hot dog. Wee, 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 wee. You know, it's 105 decibels. Do you hear me? Good morning. Your whole neighborhood can hear you now. Those boys opened the door. Yeah, there's 2 boys opened the door, peeking in. Because he's like, my dad's a professional wrestler from California. Okay. Well, we saw him beat a guy almost nearly to death at the roller rink. And all he did was pick his nose in front of me. Who are you? What's going on? I know those Californians. Like Josh, what was his name? Groon. No. There was a Groon in Pascal. He was a writer. Or he tried to be in the creative writing department. He was trying to get all the cheerleaders to, like, think he was Woody Allen. Or no. He wanted the cheerleaders to think that he was Kurt Vonnegut or something. A mixture of Kurt Vonnegut and Woody Allen. And I was trying to be Thomas Wolfe. But there was a Josh Cruz. Yeah, that was his name. Josh Cruz. It was junior high. He was from California. This is before I went to California. I had already been to California when I was younger to go to Disneyland, to see Disneyland when we were little tiny. We were like maybe kindergarten. And Josh Cruz in junior high got up really close to me in art class and was like in my ear saying, if you keep on doing that, he was talking about me drawing, because you keep on doing that, I'm going to kill you with this pencil. And I was like, what are you talking about? He had like tears in his eyes. He was like a Crispin Glover on speed. Not even that. He was like a Crispin Glover on PCP. I mean, he was crazy. He's like, I will kill you if you keep doing that. So I went to my teacher. I don't remember her name now, but she was an art teacher. And I was like, hey, Josh is telling me that he's going to kill me if I keep drawing. And she goes, go sit down. Because I had to sit right next to him. He was a nut. So I just sat there staring into space. He's like, I'm going to kill, I'll rip your throat out. You know, I'll kill you. So then after we were released and the bell rang, and we all got up, I walked out of the art room as quick as I could and went down the hall and then out. He was crying mad, screaming, because he couldn't kill me. He was like almost ripping his own hair out. And I remember Cody Kirchhoff, and I don't know if he's still around because he was our quarterback, at least for the junior varsity, because he got in trouble dipping. In junior high, he was dipping. And so Cody was trying to get him to calm down. Richard Long was over there trying to get him to calm down. He was crying like, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill him, I'll kill him. You know, he had just got to Texas from California. San Bernardino, whatever, you know, somewhere. He was so evil. He did not understand what was going on when he arrived. Yeah, there's a death trap right there. I don't know why they had to be doing that. Probably for a dweller. Possibly hoping they'd get a dweller. So, We're going to get another number. Next, 5.9. We might hold off for that. Hang on. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to do the 5.9. It's going to call it Hail Mary. Here is the next one for sure. Starting guidance. 5.7, 748. The average income for a home buyer or a new home owner is close to probably $180,000 to $200,000 a year, maybe $100,000 a year. I'd have to do the math on it, but it's definitely six figures. Maybe at the least $80,000 a year, but that's here in Texas. But on the average, it's above $100,000 a year. You are supposed to give your shirt off your back to your neighbor or whoever it is for any reason at all. Everybody's in a movie theater and gunfire goes off. I don't even go to the movie theaters anymore. But I do like the movie theater. I loved it when I was younger because of Aurora, Colorado. Aurora. You are supposed to give your life up. Now, there were these children on an Amish community where Psycho went in to rape the teacher and to kill all the students in this isolated Amish community. And the kids volunteered to be killed. The teacher was able to escape, climb up a telephone pole, and make a phone call to the authorities, where they're not supposed to use phones or electricity. The authorities showed up, the man was dead, and so were most of the students. The very next day, the man killed himself. The very next day, well, he killed himself on the spot. But the very next day, national news followed the leaders of the Amish community to go to the man's house to tell the man's wife, who is now a widow, that they forgive what that man did to their children. When you know someone is in need and you do nothing, you are nothing. Do you know what it means to be nothing? You will know when you're completely detached from God and sitting in a dark area of hell. H-E double hockey sticks, as some call it. You will know what it means. And you would wish and do everything for that drop of water. And you will watch us feast in heaven. You will watch us feast. You will watch us feast. You would have done anything to take that shirt off your back and to help your brother. You would have done anything to do that. You chose to choose the path of Judas. It was your decision. But you choose to help the one that doesn't need. And that's good. It says in the Bible, Lord, help me want not. And you help those. You help the righteous. But that's not what we were taught. We were taught to help the unrighteous. We were taught to help that guy behind that dumpster. that you ignore every day. And the most common word that you use against me is STUPID. But you don't use my name. Or maybe you do, but who cares? Because what bounces off me, sticks on you, you know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words shall never hurt me. But the word is the flesh and the flesh is the word, but you know what I mean.